Good evening and welcome to a brand new season of Taco Tuesday. Season 10 is upon us. Round 1 of the championship takes us to the Rd1 Internazionale di Monza, which is around about 30 miles away from the city of Milan. Tom Cairns in the commentary position, providing you with the details for tonight's showing in the Pro category, or Tier 1, if you would rather call it that. We are into the final 10 minutes of practice. Drivers completing their last few laps before qualifying gets underway. So we are just seeing drivers posting times. Vettel the fastest so far in the McLaren. And we'll run down on who is driving in Tier 1 this season. So we've got Stuart Hutchison, Kobe Alerts, Josh Clayton. We've got Ray Thomas, Folklore Epistle, Nico Busov, Mark Conway, Adam Sharp, Will Freeman, Luke Prentice, Jeffrey Godefroy, Adam Sesplar, Alex Rosnov, Will Rayner, Demian van der Waal, Melvin Crows. Got Carr as well, otherwise known as Ghost Assassin. Don't know for certain what his first name actually is. We'll come back to that another time. We've got Petra Postel, Craig Law, Brandon Glover, Ahmed Al-Dori, Ben Milden, Matteo Di Stefano, Zdenek Volkel, Morgan Grace, Robbo Vernke, Ben Berryman, Sean Cole, the reigning champion. We've got Adam Lang, Adrian Hanovich, Mauro Arsenio, and Mauro Bergantin. Regards to where the championship will be heading to this season, we've got 8 rounds in total. Tonight is Monza. Next week is the first of 2 90-minute specials. It's at Imola. Then we go to Brands Hatch on August the 1st. Austin on August the 8th. Round 5 takes us to Donington, then to Valencia for the last of the 90-minute specials on August the 22nd. Zolder in Belgium will play host to the penultimate round, and the season finale will be in Paul Ricard on September the 5th. Mauro Bergantin's coming in saying something in Italian, which unfortunately I do not know my Italian, but I'll find out what that actually translates to. Found out it's have a good race everyone, so very nice of him to mention that in the chat. If you are involved in the chat, there's a few of you tuning in, feel free to get involved in the live chat and I'll answer any questions you wish for me to answer. Let me know how your week has been. Have you been up to anything nice at the weekend or the weekend before? Do get in touch. Kobe Alerts, who's currently in 5th position. There is Adam going over the line in the McLaren. And looking at who is out of this evening, as far as I know, Ahmed Al-Dori I don't think is around. That's the only Tier 1 driver as far as I can remember. There are a few reserves in. Mauro Arsenio is one of them. He's dropped down from where he was last season. He was in contention for the championship for a lot of it. Sean Cole, the reigning champion in P19 at the moment. Early days, of course. Got Luke Prentice on track in 22nd. Back in Tier 1, he was in the Pro-M category last season. Ending up in 4th. Picking up a couple of victories as well to go with that. That's quite a good effort from him. 6 podiums, despite missing the first couple of races. Had continued that form throughout the whole campaign, he may have won it. Four minutes of this practice session to go, and Zdenek Volkel is the driver to beat, with Robbo Vernke behind. Those two drivers do speak the same language as far as I know. Zdenek Volkel from the Czech Republic, and Robert Vernke is from Slovakia, so my apologies actually, they're not... They may speak the same language, but... I do remember Czechoslovakia being a country many years back. Those in the Czech Republic speak Czech, and those from Slovakia speak Slovak. Got Craig Law on circuit, the man from Northern Ireland, running in P6. Seen a few more drivers making their way into the lobby now as well. Mauro Arsenio in there. We've got Moggs in there too. Morgan Grace, driver in that seat. Mentioned that in the teams championship this season, I think it's like the best 2 scores. But what I will mention for the drivers, it's the same as last season. Yeah. 40 points for a win, and it's 38 for second, 36 for third. The difference between each position is 2 points down to 11th, and it's a point difference between every position from there down. It's also another 2 points on offer for the driver that sets the fastest up of the race. Like an orange flag out there, not exactly sure of any debris left on circuit. Anyway, although Law is making his way back to the pits. He's done his bit in this qualifying session. There is BRC Berger. I don't know who that actually is for my information. That'll be Mauro Begansin, number 77 McLaren. In terms of the race, in regards to laps, probably around about 33 or 34, depending on how quick the drivers are. It's a very competitive field, so I'll probably say it'll be around that figure. The checker flag is out now, so we're just waiting for the last remaining drivers to complete their laps. Beganson looks to improve on his time from earlier. Doesn't look like an improvement on this occasion. So we're just waiting for qualifying to begin, and Volkel is going to end practice with the fastest time. Doesn't mean anything in regards to the grid, so it'll be down to what the drivers can produce in qualifying and in the race. With Begansin at the moment, but we are seeing the 69 of Glover coming round in the Lamborghini. His time is an improvement that moves up to 11th, so improves right at the end there. Moggs looks to try and complete a better lap time. Where did he end up with that lap? Was it an improvement from before? Let's have a look. I can't tell on the graphic there. I think he only came out of the pits at the last moment. I think he did actually improve his time, but not by much, and he was 25th in the end. But we are gearing up for qualifying for round 1 of the championship. Who's going to get the first pole of the season? There's no points for pole position, in case you are wondering. Sure, being at the front is where every driver wants to be at. 15 minutes. And then it'll be 60-minute race that follows. 7 PM it is. It is a multiplier time lapse of ×2. So every minute in real life is 2 minutes on track. And we'll stay with Zdeněk Volkel, who will take us on a lap of this circuit. Stay with the onboard for now, as we are on the outlaps. I think every driver is heading to the circuit now. We've got 26 in the server. There may be a few more before qualifying is over. So Zdeněk Volkel, what can he produce? As he runs wide, won't want to be doing that too much. Round the curve at Alboreto, just renamed a couple of years ago in memory of Haley Alboreto, who was sadly killed in that sports car event at the Lausitzring in Germany back in 2001. More on that later. We will go for a lap of this Monza racetrack with Zdeněk Volkel. So you want to be braking just after the 150 metre board down to first gear for the Rettifilio chicane, notable for the collision between Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton in 2021. Then you make your way through the sweeping right hand up the Curva Grande, and then you think carefully of what you're going to do at the Della Rocha chicane. Staying to the inside and down to second gear, 85 kilometers an hour before you turn in to the right hander there, and then to the first of 2 Lesmo corners. Third gear, 130 kilometers an hour, running wide a little bit there, stays within the track limits. And here's Lesmo 2. Third gear it is. You just have to be patient on the throttle. You don't want to be exceeding track limits there either. And now you're making your way underneath the bridge where the old oval used to be raced on. Up through the gears, up through the RPM, and then down to third gear, take the inside line. Try not to use the sausage curves, as that can upset the balance of the machine. But Volkel's got through there just fine. Now one corner to go of this lap. It's the Curva Alboreto, or the Parabolica, as it's otherwise known. Now you want to break down to third gear it is that Volkel is taking it. Then you want to carry as much speed on the exit, because the finish line is just upon you, not too far away. And that completes a lap of Monza, courtesy of Sir Dennet Volkel. How have the others got on so far? Well, Ben Milden's posted the time, 1.7 seconds off the pace. Kobe Lutz was in P2 for a brief moment before Robert Vernke has managed to push him down. Nico Busov and Critico in there too. There is Adam posting a time. Susplot, the number 94 McLaren at 720S GT3 Evo. Starting to see a few more times coming in now. But Genton has gone up to P2 in the McLaren. So McLaren 1, 2 and 3 at the present moment. Craig Law has managed to break that, because he's gone up to third in the Ferrari. 1 minute 48.4. 18 drivers have posted times so far, make that 19. Got the 99 heading over the line next. And it's Mauro Arsenio, who's the reserve driver this evening, going up to P3. Half a second off the pace. So it's a 47.7 so far, the fastest time in practice, in case you are wanting to know. We'll have a look at that in a moment, because Volkel is about to cross over the line. Is it going to be an improvement from before? Oh, it is. 1:47.5. Someone came in the chat and mentioned about the practice, the fastest time in practice being a 47.5. Well, could that be the time that seals pole position for Volkel? It's still early days yet, 9 minutes to go, and a lot can still change. The track is at its optimum window, and most of the drivers are on circuit right now. Go to the 69 of Glover, because he's yet to get a time on the board. He's gone up to 17th place. Stuart Hutchinson is yet to get a time. Where is he at the moment? He's out on circuit. He's going through Lesmo 1. There's Adrian in the number 38 Porsche. Adrian Hanovic. Number 38 Porsche 992 GT3. 75 years of manufacturing, celebrated at the Goodwood Festival of Speed on Sunday, or at the weekend I should say. It's a 4-day event, although it was technically 3 with the cancellation of Saturday. It's a terrible shame for the fans who were meant to be going, but those who were able to go on the Sunday most especially got the opportunity to see so many different cars, including the Porsches. Whilst it was the 75th anniversary of Porsche, it was the 75th anniversary of the opening of Goodwood. So Adrian going up into 22nd place. The only driver yet to get a time on the board is Luke Prentice, and I can tell you Volkel has improved his time even more. It was a 1:47.5. Well, he's managed to improve on that by more than a tenth. A 1:47.392. Got the 77 of Beganson going over the line as well. He was able to improve his time, but not in position. He stays where he is in P3. 68 is behind. That is Postel in the Ferrari. Is he improving from before? He is, but only by a little bit, and he's got up to 24th place. Five Club Bizzle is down to 25th. Sean Cole, the reigning champion, only 11th. And Befizzle doesn't improve his time, so he doesn't go any further up the order. There's Flying Throne, who goes up to 14th position. He's able to improve by half a second. And Flying Throne, otherwise known as Adam Sharp, that is, in the Ferrari, moving up. Got the number 39 heading over the line next. That is Vernke, who is looking for an improvement. I don't think he made an improvement that time around. Damien van der Waal. No improvement. Stays in P20. We know he can do better than that from what we've seen from him in previous seasons. Got the 500 of Clayton going up to P11. Who else is coming over the line now? Stuart Hutchison, 2 seconds off the pace. Can he reduce that with his latest attempts? Or not? Milden 15th at the moment. 99 coming over the line. Mario Arsenio, P2 right now. And he's not able to reduce that. Reduce the gap down to the provisional pole sitter, Zdenek Vorkel. 702 heading over the line as well. That is Kobe Alerts. He was in championship contention for a lot of the campaign before he fell away towards the end. Number 38 is coming over the line now. That will be one of those towards the back, I think. That is Adrian, who is only 22nd. Number 34 going through as well. That'll be Farclough Bizzle. He doesn't improve his time. We've got Luke Prentice, who's still in the pits as we speak. I don't know for certain whether he is actually going to go out for qualifying yet or not. Got over 4 minutes to go then. Can anyone catch Volker? Well, I can tell you, Robert Vernke has gone up to P2 with his latest lap. A 1 minute 47.6. Robert Vernke in the black liveried McLaren with a shade of red. McLaren 1, 2, 3 and 4. Tell you, there are 7 McLarens in the field. There's Jeffrey Godefroy, and from Belgium in the BMW, the highest non-McLaren, in 5th position. Nico Busov in 6th. Got Critico in 7th, Craig Law 8th, Josh Clayton 9th, and Kobe Alerts running up the top 10. 1.2 seconds off the pace he is. And we've got Volkel heading over the line. Is this going to be an improvement from before? It is not. We'll give it another go. I'll have 2 more attempts at it. So we've got the 68 of Postel heading over the line. He's got quite some way to make up over those around him. Does not go up the order, unfortunately. Farclough for Bizzle hoping to do so, move up the order, and he goes up to P20. So he was able to find some time. He found around about 7/10 on that lap. So he found himself in the thick of it finally. .518 heading through. Now that is Ben Berryman. He doesn't go up the order. 77 crossing over the line next. Jansen, who doesn't improve. They've got the 433 of Damien van der Waal. He doesn't improve. Got the 226 going over the line. I don't think he improved either. Will Freeman in the Mercedes AMG. 2 minutes remaining. He'll get over the line. He'll probably have time for 2 more laps if he's lucky. And Will Freeman does not move up from 13th. And Mauro Senio has gone up to P2, a 10th behind Vorkel now. Vorkel's place on pole position, not looking certain. But is he finding an improvement on his lap? Well, he's about to get over the line. He'll have one more go at it. But is he going to extend the margin over the others? Not quite. Stays where he is with the time that he has. Got the number 38 going through as well. It doesn't look like he's moved up the order either, unfortunately. More drivers coming through now. 34, the 95 and the number 1 going through. Sean Cole, the reigning champion, in 15th place. Morgan Grace moves up to 17th. 148.8 was his latest effort. 77 of Mauro Begansin. He's going into the pit lane, so that's his session done. So 4th will be his best hope for this session. Got the 22 coming over the line next. That should be Will Freeman, I believe, or Stuart Hutchinson. My apologies. Move up from P22. Not quite, but he'll have one more go at it. 226 of Craig Law does not go up either. And it looks like Will Rayner has gone up the order in P11. The man moving up from the Pro-Am category last season. For your information, he finished runner-up, picking up 1 victory in the season, 34 points off the champion Dan Naisbitt, who I don't believe is around this evening, unfortunately. So we're just seeing the final laps coming through now, and it doesn't look like Vorkel's time is going to be beaten, but I will say that Mauro Arsenio's got the gap down to less than 300. So Arsenio coming very close, but he's not going to be on pole. Got Sean Cole going for the pits. He's not going to improve on 17th. He's dropped down a little bit further. Is anyone making any form of improvement? Not major improvement. Godfrey improves his time, but not his position. A good effort though. 5th place on the grid. As we speak, we are with a few more drivers who are finishing their remaining laps. Law is going off track, and he's not going to improve his time, most certainly. So that'll be him back into the pit lane. Brandon Glover and Will Freeman are the last drivers on laps, so they will complete theirs now. Get underway with the race very, very shortly. Be a 3-minute wait before the formation lap begins, and then it'll be around about 3 or 4 minutes later before we go green flag racing. Freeman does not move up the order. I'll tell you that Brandon Glover moved up to 13th for that last effort. Very well done to him. After a brilliant qualifying session, it's Zdenek Vorkel in his first race in Tier 1 to qualify on pole in Taco Tuesday. Mauro Senio will be alongside with Robbo Vernke and Mauro Begansin, completing a McLaren 1, 2, 3 and 4. There's Jeffrey Godefroy in the first non-McLaren car in 5th place in the BMW, followed by Nico Bosov. Crisco and Melvin Kroes are 7th and 8th. Adam is in P9 ahead of Craig Law. Damien van der Waal and Will Rayner are on row 6. Brandon Glover and Josh Clayton are on row 7, followed by Kobe Alerts and Will Freeman. Ben Milden and Morgan Grace are on row 9. Sean Cole and Flying Frame in 19th and 20th. Followed by Biff Bizzle and Stuart Hudson in 21st and 22nd. Ben Berryman and Peter Postel on the 12th row, with Adrian and Luke Prentice rounding off the grid. Seen a few people joining in the live chat. Do feel free to ask questions, as I've already mentioned earlier. We've got a few minutes before the race, so do let me know how you've been getting on. Remind you, it'll be a 60-minute race with a mandatory pit stop included. Refueling is not mandatory. You do have to change tyres in that stop. For my information, Dan Naisbitt is in the Pro-Am category. Thank you for filling me in on that. A little bit surprised actually, because he's the reigning champion of that tier. I thought he would have moved up. Got 26 drivers ready to go for tonight's race. Who's going to come out on top? Let me know your predictions. Got the cars on the grid ready to go for the formation lap. 3-minute wait from now before they do move forward. To know who will take the championship this season. It is an 8-race calendar that will feature 2 90-minute specials, the first being at Imola next week and the other being at Valencia in round 6. Followers coming in, 55 I'm counting at the time of recording. If you are watching us live on Twitch, if you are watching us on catch up on YouTube, do make sure you subscribe to the channel as well. No points for qualifying on pole, remember. Points are on offer for the driver that sets the fastest lap, no matter where they finish. Race win is what the drivers will be after. 40 points it is. Ten rounds championship last season. Sean Cole had accumulated 339 points. He won out by 5 points overall over his nearest challenger, which was Mario Arsenio. Ahmed Aldori was third with 339 points off the top. We had Melvin Crows, who fell away towards the end. Did Nico Busov and Bruno Canavera. I hope that Ahmed Aldori will be back next week. He's not around tonight, unfortunately. Start to hear the revs from the cars. Mean one thing, the formation lap is about to begin. Should start to see the cars going now, and there is Vorfel. Race looks like it's going to be in darkness. Rapid Duck and Sukovic coming in saying good luck to everyone, hoping to be back next season. Best of luck to you, Jan. Not sure what your plans are exactly, but been a brilliant driver since you've joined the FRL. It'd be great to see you back at some point. Tom Preset giving the best of luck to everyone. Run down on the grid then. Volkel on pole with Mauro Senio alongside. Then it's Vernke in third, Begunsin in fourth place, Godefroy and Busov in fifth and sixth, Critico and Kroos in seventh and eighth. Ninth place will be Garian himself, Adam Susplat, Damian van der Waal in 10th position, Craig Law and Will Rayner move up the order from 11th and 12th, Brandon Glover in 13th, Josh Clayton alongside him on the 7th row, Kobe Alerts and Will Freeman with a lot to do in this race on 15th and 16th positions respectively. Ben Milden and Morgan Grace are on row 9, by Sean Cull in 19th position, the reigning champion, alongside Blind Throne in 20th, Volker Pavizel in P21. Ahead of Stuart Hutchinson, it's Ben Berryman, Pedro Postel, Adrian in 25th, and Luke Prentice bringing up the rear. It doesn't look like any drivers are going to be starting from the pit lane. They're all going to be on track for the rolling start. Headlights are on, which means we are expected to head into darkness. Sure, they will acclimatise as the race thickens. So they're starting to form their rows of two now, I believe, although not yet. But they will do around the time when they get to the Parabolica. They will be notified by the game itself to do that. Otherwise penalties could be dished out. Volkel on pole. Arsenio go for victory. Now last season Arsenio won a race, and that was in round 7, which will have been at the Nürburgring, which he was able to get after Melvin Kroos had a time penalty for a collision in the win, and Mauro Senna was able to inherit it. Hopefully the win can be decided on the track today. Volkel will just be focusing in what is in front of him and not behind. Beside him is Mauro Senio, who'll be looking to make a move heading into turn 1. And now we await for the green flag, and when it's waved, season 10 of Taco Tuesday in the pro category can begin. The green flag is waved and the drivers are go! Volkel looking to make the best of starts by having the inside line into the Rettifilio. It looks like Arsenio reacted well to the lights as well, but he's not going to have the high ground into turn 1. It's going to be Volkel. So Volkel into turn 1, gets through without overshooting the first chicane, and he leads coming out of it. Arsenio slotting in behind, then we've got Vernke in 3rd place, and we've got Begantin under threat from Godefroy and Busov, who's trying to make a move in the Porsche. So Busov looking to make a way through as Godefroy looks to get past Begantin at the same time as they approach the De La Rocha chicane, which is the 2nd chicane of the lap. And I don't think there's too much change going on there. I think we've got the 702 in trouble. That's Kobe Alerts, who's got caught up in some mayhem at the first turn. Ben Berryman has dropped back, and I think the 500 of Josh Clayton has got involved. So Kobe Alerts in the wars already. His season has not got off to the best of starts. So Volkel leads, Arsenio 2nd, Vernke in 3rd. We've got Begantin, Godefroy, Busov, Critico, Kroos, Law and Adam in the top 10. Whilst we see a move, I think that was a move from the outside. I think that's Vernke getting a move done on Mauro Arsenio and going up into second place. That was an amazing overtake from Robbo Vernke, although Arsenio is not having any of it and he's fighting back. Down the outside goes Arsenio into the curve at Alboreto. And Arsenio runs wide, riding over the sausage curve on the exit. Looks like he not giving up without a fight, that's for certain. He'll get into the slipstream and have a go again. Bortles bridging out a gap already. 1.4 seconds it is. Arsenio round the outside of Vernke, but Vernke positioned the car on the apex to make sure there's no room for Arsenio to pounce. And second place is his for now. What's going on further behind? Because we've got Adam under threat from Van der Waal, who's trying to make up a place. Law is ahead of this bunch. We've got Will Rayner in 12, Brandon Glover in 13, Will Freeman up to 14th position, Morgan Grace 15th. Stuart Hutchinson's made up ground from further back. He's kept his Ferrari out of trouble. No problem so far. The pit window is open, so you can make your mandatory pit stop now if you wanted to. But you've got to complete that pit stop before the 1 minute signal, before the checkered flag. And we've got the 500 in the pits as well. That's Josh Clayton. I suppose with the pit stop, he'll get that done out of the way and won't have to do it again. But the likelihood is that he's going to find himself a lap behind. And Arsenio is still harassing Vernke for P2. Under braking as Vernke faces the car, but he's gone in too deep, and that's going to allow Arsenio to get through on the inside on the exit of the Parabolica. And Arsenio has got back into second place, but they're still going side by side. This is great racing between these two. Began to with the fast lap of the race. Want to try and get ahead of these two and challenge Vauxhall for the win. Vernke in second. Again, and it's been a brilliant dice between these two. Ganson just waiting for his moment to get through. Darkness is continuing to fall here, northern Italy in the Lombardy region. As Arsenio looks to the inside, and Vernke did not get a good exit coming off the Della Rocha chicane, but he was able to brake later than Arsenio. Keep hold of the position. Josh Clayton's still in the pits at the moment, so I think both he and Kobe Alerts are calling it a night already. Both of them are out. Arsenio looking to make a pass on the outside of Vernke. He's trying to do what Vernke did to him on the opening lap. So they come. Drivers just need to be aware of track limits, as penalties can follow if they exceed track limits too many times. We've got a car in the pits. I think that's Sean Cole who's had an accident. And he's out of the race, I think, as well too. So the reigning champion, Sean Cole, has not got off to the best of starts in his title defence. The Scot is out of the race. We're not sure how that happened, but his race has come to a premature end. Vernke still ahead for the time being. Busov is running in 6th position ahead of Critico. MGK 8th. Law is pulling away from Van der Waal. And the field looks to be sort of spaced out a little bit now. And that's flying Frome off the racetrack. at the Retifili chicane. He's lost a bundle of time, but at least he's stayed in the race. Hopefully not too much damage for him. And I can say that Josh Clayton has done his stop now, but he's 2 laps down on the leaders. Vernke in 2nd place. Morix in 3rd, running wide a little bit. Him under pressure. Lap 4. Black and orange flag. I'm not exactly sure who is carrying damage of which is making the car unsafe to be driving in. Orkel completes in lap 4 and the gap is nearly 3 seconds. Every driver for themselves. They're not in. The only teams of which they are part of are the manufacturers. Now the best 2 scores from each team will count towards the championship, given that there are 7 McLaren drivers in the run-in. So many Ferraris actually as well. Thinking of it, there are a total of 10 Ferrari drivers in the field, which is crazy. And it looks like Vernke once again didn't get off the De La Rocha chicane very well. Arsenio is down the inside, and Arsenio is able to make the move work. So the Portuguese gets ahead and up into 2nd place. The yellow flag's still out on circuit. I think that's probably because of where Sean Cole had parked up before he came back into the pits. So we'll go on board with Robbo Vernke as he looks to stay in touch with the sister McLaren. See the stars in the background, in the sky. Through the parabolica. Mark stays ahead. He's got a fry under threat from Busov in the battle for 5th position. Now, how is this going to play out? Well, Busov is right in the slipstream of Godefroy. He's going to lay the later of the two German manufacturer cars, one in the BMW, the other in the Porsche. And the BMW brakes that a little bit later and stays ahead. So the man from Belgium ahead of the man from Croatia. Dueling it out at the Temple of Speed. Busov not quite making a move out. It would be a bit silly to do it on this occasion at the De La Rocha chicane. He'll probably wait for a better opportunity. Behind Busov is Critico and Melvin Kroes. Laurel's a few seconds behind in 9th place, and keeping in company is Damian van der Waal, Dutchman in the McLaren. Now we see Busov looking to get a move done on Godefroy now. We'll go back on board with him. He's not going to outbrake him, I don't think, into the Ascari chicane. He'll have a better line though coming out of it, I would have thought. Trying to take all the curb and then some, but he probably took a bit too much, which put him on the brink of the gravel on the outside of Ascari. He's able to stay on the track. Coming through the parabolica. And Busov has got through, as has Melvin Kroes by the looks of it. Or Critico, I should say. Kroes is just behind. Oh, there's a little tap there from Critico on Busov. Busov won't like that. That was a little bit naughty from Critico, but he probably knew little about it. Briscoe on the inside is able to get past both Godefroy and Busov and up into 5th position. Now we go back on Busov again as he looks to retaliate through the Curva Grande. It's not close enough to have a go on this occasion, I don't think. Busov settles in for now. Godefroy in P7, MGK 8, Craig Law ahead of Damien van der Waal still. We are 12 minutes into the race so far. It's been an enjoyable one for the spectators, putting myself in the commentary position. Ascari, and Mauro Senio holds the fast start point for the time being. I saw a few cars running wide a little bit there. Who's that that's dropped back? Is that Damien van der Waal who's had a moment? I think he's dropped behind Will Rayner and Brandon Glover. So van der Waal's not had a good lap, and he's down what I believe is in 13th position. Once the leaderboard is updated, he's actually down to 14 behind Will Freeman. He was in 10th place a moment ago, but now he's dropped back. Four drivers still running, including Josh Clayton, who's a couple of laps behind. But it's the end of the road for for Sean Cull and Kobe Alerts. Two drivers who were fighting it out for the championship last season have left themselves with a lot to do already after round 1. There are only 8 races this season instead of the 10 that we had of last. Recently difficult knowing which car is which field. Gap between Vorkel in the lead and Arsenio in second is 2.7 seconds. It's a commanding lead for the man out front. Critico is in 5th position with Busov ahead of Godefroy, or Godefroy I should say, and there is Melvin Crows up the inside of Godefroy into turn 1, giving each other enough space, and MGK just avoiding contact on the apex. And we've got Luke Prentice in the pits. We've got Stuart Hutchinson in the pits also. Both of which getting their mandatory stops done and out of the way. Hoping to get out before the leaders get round to lap them, because they'll lose more time otherwise. Lap 9 of the race, and Vernke has had a moment because Bergantin has moved in front of him now. So Vernke is beginning to struggle at this rate. He was in 2nd place, lost ground to Arsenio, and now he's behind Mauro Bergantin. tell you that Hutchison and Prentice are going to end up rejoining right in the thick of the field that are coming round, so they're going to have to obey blue flags. Lap 10, we're just over a quarter of the way through. Volkel in the lead, Sonio in P2. Field very much settling down, although there is a battle between Godefroy and MGK hotting up again. Behind Crows is Craig Law. Behind Craig Law will be Adam Sussblot. Car battle for P7. Go on board with MGK going underneath the bridge. Close enough to have a go. Although, did he get attacked from behind by Craig Law? I don't think he did. I think that might just have been the usage of the brakes. Well, further ahead, Critico and Busov are fighting it out. Busov looking to the outside of the McLaren. And is Busov going to get through? Not on this occasion. 5 McLarens in the top 5. Busov looking to break that by getting into 5th position. To the slipstream. Busov is not able to move ahead, so he'll have to bide his time once more. Well, Moritz has got the gap down to 2.4 seconds at the beginning of the lap. It's now 2.5. So Volkel is not out of the woods yet by any means. Lap 11, what's the gap now between the top 2? We'll find out in a moment once both have gone through. Sector 2, there's an incident at the Delaroche chicane. I can't quite see who that has involved. We'll find out in a moment. I get an update on that particular malady in a few moments' time. Just so to see maybe if there's a change in the order, and that will give me a clue as to who has dropped back. Godefroy and MGK doing battle once more as they go down the pit straight together. Okay, on the inside of the BMW. Move ahead, but he's going to have the high ground on the exit of turn 2, and that should be a position gained for the Dutchman. Godefroy going back. This won't be the last of these two battling for the foreseeable future, because they've been absolutely hammer and tong. Clean throughout as well. To Lesmo 2. Go on board with MGK as he tries to get through on the BMW. Drivers on the brakes. Down the back straight as they come towards the curve at Alboreto. Both come through the final corner of the lap. The battle between Godefroy and MGK looks to have calmed down for now, for the time being. Not quite seen any of the leaders heading for the pits just yet. This helicopter angle, we can see Craig Law running in a respectable P9. Seeing a spin involving the number 5. That'll be Will Rayner. Oh dear! That's dangerous from Will Rayner. That is poor driving from the BMW pilot. And who's that ran into him? I think it was Brandon Glover that ran into him, unfortunately. And he's got damage. Yeah, windscreen damage. And I think Will Rayner will be hit with a penalty after the race for that. Just came back onto the racing line into the path of Brandon Glover. I suppose the saving grace for Glover is that it's around about the midpoint of the race anyway, so it's not a complete disaster, but that has not helped this race one bit. And now Will Rayner is causing a bit of an issue because further ahead, I think Adrian had a bit of contact with him, and it looks like Will Rayner is carrying damage too after he got rear-ended by Glover as he was rejoining. Oh, and there is... who's that that's just gone off circuit? That is Morgan Grace, who's trying to dodge his way round Brandon Glover into the curve at Alboreto, but has ended up spinning into the runoff area, and he's back on track without any more damage. Well, I can say that Adam Susplar is in the pits, Adrian is in the pits too, as is Brandon Glover, as is Will Rayner. And we've got Mauro Begantin and Robbo Fernke coming in, so two of the leaders making their mandatory stops now. Lieutenant Vorkel and Mauro Arsenio continue on. Gap is 3.3 seconds between those two. Vorkel continue on in the lead. Mauro Arsenio in second place. Got Critico and Busov in third and fourth places. Line to stir. This is a new position of which they're battling for, albeit it is not the net positions that they would be in. And who's going to come into the pits? Well, neither of them are. It almost looked like they were going to, but both of them decided to carry on for another lap. Rayner's not left his box yet, so I wonder if he's suffered too much damage in the collision with Brandon Glover at the first Lesmo to be him on the sidelines, and he'll have some explaining to do afterwards. Will Freeman coming in for his mandatory stop from P11, or at least it seemed like it was P11. It may have been a higher position than that actually. Hustle So he's been languishing at the back all race, to be honest with you, as possible. Number 5 it's in the pits now. That'll be Rayner. I believe will be a lap down now. Clayton is running in 24th. He is in the number 500. Still be a lap behind him, I think. Eight leaving the pits. That is Will Freeman. Should get out just before race leader is coming around to lap him. Running in P1, he's extended the gap to 5 seconds over Mauro Senio. Got Critico, Busov and Godefroy in 3rd, 4th and 5th places. Bernke has got clear track ahead of him, which could help when it comes to completing an undercut on the top two who are still out in the lead. Ben Berryman is in the pits. Halfway through the event now. And we can see the leader coming into the pits, as is Mauro Senio. So it could be a down to the battle of the pit crews. Now what is Critico going to do here? Is he going to go for the pits or is he going to stay out? He's going to stay out for another lap. But Busov is coming. Oh, that looks like a tap there. That looked like a tap from behind. I think Godefroy and MGK got away with it. I think there was just some confusion of who was heading for the pits. That was so close to being an accident, I will admit. Van der Waal coming in also. There is Robert Vernkert. Can he get in front of Vorthel? It's highly unlikely, if I'm honest with you. Morix has done his stop now. What about Vorthel? He's going to get out in front of Arsenio, and he'll keep hold of the net race lead. Vernkert is just exiting the curve, Alberto, but he's too far behind. So Vorthel rejoins in the net race lead. Mauro Senio should be in a net second place. Not over yet by any means, but it's going to take some doing. Vorthel to be caught here now. Van der Waal's done his stop, as is Ben Milden, as is Flying Throne. Leaves 6 drivers still yet to make their mandatory stops. Let's go. Will he decide to pit in this lap? He's had a good race so far. And he's heading for the pits now. Is anyone else coming in? I think that's Godefroy who's heading for the pit lane too. And MGK has stayed out for another lap. Craig Law coming in. What about Farclaw Pizzle? Is he going to head for the pit lane too? Say 2, there's only 3 in the pit, so make that 4 if he does decide to go in. Morgan Grace is another 6.5 seconds behind. Vervittel does head for the pits. Morgan Grace, what does he go for? Does he go for the pits or does he go for another lap? He's going for another lap. So just 2 drivers are yet to make their stops. Okay, riding the curbs. Focusing on the driving. I'm sure he would love to be in the lead, but finishing in the top 5 looks to be a tall order for him. Not too far away from lapping some cars ahead, so he needs to decide when is the best time to go for the pits. Around the curve at Alboreto. Reaching the end of lap 18. And MGK takes the decision to pit in now. Morgan Gray should be Zdenek Vorthel, although he's a bit further back. So behind Morgan Grace is actually Josh Clayton, who's 2 laps down on him. I think Josh Clayton has hit trouble on circuit. Yep, he's found himself in the wall, and that is his race over now, I think. So Josh Clayton on the sidelines, and that is his race for the night finished. So Morgan Grace has stayed out, so at least he'll have a brief stint at the front. Then at Vorthel, go through in 2nd position on track. Sonny will be 3rd. MGK hasn't left his box yet. The battle he's with is with Krisico, who is no doubt going to get ahead of him. But what about Busov? Both going down the pit straight now. Where is MGK in the 233? Is he exiting the pits? No, he is, and he's a long way back actually. And he's going to fall behind Craig Law, I think, as well. So it's been a bad stint really for MGK, who rejoins behind Law, and that'll be in 10th place. It should be 9th once Grace has done his last stop. "25 minutes to go. Once the clock reaches 0, whatever lap the leader is on will be their final lap." Morgan Grace is continuing to pull clear. Oh, he nearly drops it through the curve of Alboreto. I think his tyres are beginning to give way now, and I think that was the indication that he needed to go in for a new set of tyres. That's the last driver in, and the race can resume at its normal pecking order, or the pecking order as it sort of was earlier on, with Vorthel ahead on merit. Arsenio in P2. Make some mistake to stop Vorthel from taking victory now. And I think Stuart Hodgson has been in the pits again. I think he had hit trouble out on circuit. I don't know where, but his race has not quite gone the way he had hoped. 2nd time he's been in the pits. Morgan Grace He's exiting the pits now. He's in front of the 518, I believe, which is Ben Berryman. Flying Throne is ahead of him now, so I think Morgan Grace will be in 15th position, which is round about where he was before the pit stops had begun. Completing 20th lap. The gap between him and Arsenio is 3.2 seconds. Well, around about 11 laps to go, I would say, maybe 12. I'd say 12 just to be on the safe side. Now, what is important is that for drivers who have refueled all the way to the end, or fueled the car all the way to the end of the race, better make sure that they've got enough fuel in there to get to the end, otherwise it could spell trouble for them. Stuart Hutchinson, as I mentioned earlier, is still in the race, albeit more than a lap behind. He's about to go 2 laps down on the leader. Rayner is in front of him by nearly a lap. Luke Prentice is nearly a lap down. Brandon Glover, who's had his race wrecked really by Rayner's unsafe rejoin when Rayner had his spin at the first Lesmo. He's got a fry behind Busov. Go on board with Godefroy. He's going after Busov for 6th position. Curbs, then some. It's been a promising debut for Godefroy in Pro category. Where he up last season, I don't think he was in the Pro-Am category. It could well be his debut in Taco Tuesday after all. If that's the case, he's done a brilliant job. No, he was in the AM category, believe it or not. He won 5 races in the AM category, and his performances were good enough. Was it 6 races he won? It was 5 races he won. Either way, it was good enough to move him up to the top tier, and his pace and his battling with those 1 races in the top tier in the past shows why he belongs there. He's done an outstanding job. "23 drivers are still going from the 26 that started. We lost Josh Clayton, we lost Sean Cull, and we lost Kobe Alerts. Stuart Hodgson down 2 laps now on the leader, I believe. 23rd position. Arsenio has the fastest lap points at the moment. Now, if it was to stay like this, given it's the first race of the season, Vorthel and Arsenio would be tied on points, but Vorthel will be ahead on countback because he's got 1 win. It's 2.2 seconds is the 2.2 seconds is the gap now. Arsenio is closing in. Hudson just needs to be careful. He doesn't get in the way here. It's not his race after all, and he should stay out of the way. Yeah, he's done so. No problem there. Also running wide a little bit. That should give Arsenia a little bit more encouragement. Bernke and Begansin in battle of their own in 3rd and 4th. Busov and Godefroy are refusing to leave each other alone in their scrap over 6th position. McLaren 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Who would have thought of that before the season started? Despite the fact there was 10 cars in the run-in, the highest placed Ferrari is Craig Law in 8th. At least there was 10 cars at the start of this race, which 2 of them have dropped out. So that is quite remarkable to not see one Ferrari driver out there at its home round. We'll be hoping for better next week at Imola for the 90-minute special. So Vorkel's got the, well, Moritz has got the gap down to 1.5 seconds between him and Vorkel. The battle for the win is back on again. Do not go anywhere, folks. This is far from over. Going through the chicane. In the curbs they come, and you can see that Vorkel has had a mistake on this lap. I will say to you now, before they even get to sector 2, the gap will be less than a second. There it is, less than 7 tenths now. We ride on board with Mauro Arsenio, race winner last season at the Nürburgring, hunting down Vorkel, who's going for his first win in Taco Tuesday in the Pro category. Now last season, I don't think he was involved last season in Taco Tuesday, but I have seen him compete in other series in the FRL. "15 minutes to go." We've got round about 8 or 9 laps, depending on how quick the leaders get round. Got a brilliant scrap on our hands here. If these two start fighting, that could bring Wernke and Begansin into play. Right on board again. Bottle beginning to feel the pressure, it seems. See the line of which Moritz is taking in comparison to the number 9 McLaren. Incredible stuff. Bottle definitely not as comfortable now as he was earlier. We ride on board with the rear wing view of his car. As we watch Arsenio look into the inside, is he going to go for the move there? The answer is no. Just get a good exit here, Arsenio, and he can get himself right in there and snatch the win from him. See from the helicopter view, Arsenio thinking of it a little bit. If he can just get into the slipstream, keep the pressure on, the opportunity will come to him. Can Vortel hold on here? Pendulum seems to have swung in Arsenio's favour. And it almost looked like it was going to run into the gearbox there, but got the car slowed down in time. That might just have knocked Arsenio's momentum a little bit, but he's far from out of this. Battle between Busov and Godefroy has changed because Godefroy has got ahead of Busov, who's made an uncharacteristic error around the lap, or in the last sector, and he's dropped down to 10th place. So Nico Busov we want to go back to the top two because this is increasingly intensifying. Now we will go on board with the 99 McLaren, Mauro Arsenio from Portugal. It's just a matter of time, isn't it, before Vortel makes a mistake or Arsenio puts himself within striking range to have a go. He's got enough time to do it, but he won't want to leave it too late. And now he's right into the slipstream. This is where Vortel definitely has to go defensive here. Down the pit straight. Is Moritz going to go for it? It looks to the inside. Will Vortel know he's there? But it looks like Vortel has outbraked himself a little bit, has he? Or no? No, he's got it all together. He's gone through the first chicane. Sweet and sound. So Arsenio will have to wait again. It's a strong exit. He needs to be right in the slipstream, like right of his gearbox on the exit of the Parabolica, to have a go into turn one next time around. That's what he needs to do. Amazing battle we've got on our hands here. Now we go on board again with Arsenio. Not giving up by any means. This is going to go all the way to the checker flag. I can pretty much guarantee it. It won't go for it into Ascari, but he needs a very clean and tidy exit. He got caught out on the curbs a little bit there, and running wide on the exit of Ascari, so that was not a good exit for Arsenio. Alberto, they're heading through now. How long will it be before Vortel makes a mistake? If he does make a mistake, of course. And Arsenio is going to be nowhere near striking range to have a go into turn one. Vortel remaining in front for now, at least. What a way to kickstart the season. A real nice duel. Two respectable drivers in their own rights. Very competitive and very clean. On lap 28. I would say we'll have around about 5 laps to go, just depending on how far they are away from the line. Maybe even 6 laps to go. I think it'll be 5 actually, working it out. Arsenio just cannot take too much to go. Vortel did not have a good ride through Ascari either, and Ascari, I was going to say, Arsenio went into the gravel for a brief moment and that nearly threw the car around, but gathered it all up. Both drivers see they're feeling the pressure at the moment. One trying to keep hold of victory, one doing their best to stay in touch. That was a good exit coming out of the curve Alboreto for Arsenio. Now he just needs to stay within the slipstream of Fortel. May do it into turn 1. Are we about to see a change of lead here? Here he goes, Arsenio sending one to the inside. Does he go for it into the Retrofilia chicane? Will Fortel know he's there? He leaves him enough space. Arsenio looking to the outside, then tries to do the switchback on the exit. But it's the sister McLaren, the number 9 McLaren, staying in front for the time being. What about through the Curva Grande and the Della Roscia chicane? Arsenio looking to have a go again on the inside. But Vogel brakes out a little bit later. Did he brake a little bit too late? No, he brakes at the right time and stays in front. I think there was contact made though. I think Vogel has kept hold of the position. Otherwise, I think Moritz would have had to have given that up had he got ahead. Through Lesmo 1. Arsenio not giving up, but he's chopped back a little bit and the momentum has knocked him. I think the turbulent air of the McLaren ahead has knocked his confidence a little bit. 7 minutes to go when they cross over the line. I would probably say there'll be 4 laps to go at the end of this one. Yeah, it'll be 4 laps to go when they cross over the line. So it'll be a 33 lap race. Godefroy still in front of Law in the fight for 6th. Busov is a long way back from Damien van der Waal, so 10th place looks to be very much concrete now for Busov. Arsenio's not as close as he was last time, so I don't think he's going to go for it this time around. No rain expected for the race. We haven't had any throughout tonight. Didn't even need it. And there's Vogel nearly making a mistake. Looks like Arsenio got a better dry coming out of the Retrofilia chicane. We could well see a change for the lead now because Arsenio is right up the gearbox of the McLaren. Which way is he going to go? Into the Della Roscia chicane. He's going to go to the left as they go to the chicane now of Della Roscia. But Arsenio cannot find a way past. Vogel holding his nerve and position in front. Bernko is still in front of Beganton in the fight for 3rd place. They won't have anything to do with these two, they're too far back. And now we are right on board with Arsenio again because Vogel is running wide a little bit. Morris is just trying to find a slightly different line to try and gain some momentum on the exit. But Vogel is almost being telepathic by sort of reading into his lines, knowing which way he's going to go. And Moritz giving him a little bit of a scare, trying to dummy him a little bit as they go through Ascari. But Vogel is having none of it. To the Curva Alboreto now. There'll be 3 laps to go. What a brilliant fight it is in the darkness here at Monza. Coming down the pit straight now. Who is going to have the upper hand? Into the slipstream now is Arsenio. Doesn't go for it. Vogel stays in front. Arsenio keeping his nerve, but they're just dodging their way around those bollards or boardings as they were being knocked up by someone earlier on in the race, but that hasn't affected them too much. And the leaders are going to be coming up to some back markers in a moment, not too far away actually. We've got the number 43 of Luke Prentice that they're coming up to. MGK has got in front of Craig Law for 7th place whilst this has been going on. He's the highest Ferrari in this. Mauro Arsenio is not too far away from making the move, but he's running out of time now. He's got to get good exits out of Ascari, which is what they're heading through now, or where they're heading through. And then the curve at Alboreto, of which is the corner that they're about to head through next. Out of curve at Alboreto now. And could this be a change for the lead finally? Arsenio into the slipstream of Vorkel. Two McLarens going into combat. Arsenio looking to the inside. Vorkel will know that he's got to brake later than his rival. Oh, the two-way contact! And I think Vorkel should be given the benefit of the doubt that he does. Yeah, otherwise if Arsenio got in front there, he'd have had to give him the position up. So that's good sportsmanship there from Arsenio. That would have been too clumsy of an overtake and he would have been penalised after. On the penultimate lap. And that is going to allow Wernke and Bergantin to get close to these two. And they're having a fight of their own. Bergantin looking for a move on Wernke. And Wernke goes across the chicane. He'll have to give that up. If he keeps that position, he'll get penalised after. And Bergantin has got up into the final podium position in the number 77 McLaren. So Vorkel is pulling away now from Moritz. I think Arsenio's car was damaged in the collision, and that has given Vorkel the breathing space he needs for the remaining 8 kilometres of this racetrack. Not long to go now in the race. It'll be the final lap once these two cross over the line. Vorkel almost certain of victory. He just needs to make no more mistakes now from here on in. Arsenio will be happy with his second place. Got the gap back down a little bit now to under 7 tenths, but I think Vorkel can afford to back off a little bit, but he cannot afford to back off too much now. This is it. Arsenio needs to get good exits now, but I think it's going to come up too little too short. Godefroy and MGK are in a fight of their own for 6th position, and I think MGK is going to go for an overtake here on the last lap to take the position away from the BMW. On the inside, does he go for the move? Gets the overtake done. Does he go in too deep though? I think he does. Godefroy has got him back, and it looks like Arsenio's right back in there with Vorkel now for victory. Coming out of Lesmo 2. Kick of oversteer, and I think Vorkel should be safe and sound now for the victory. I think they were trying to get through a back marker by the looks of it. Very close now between these two. Can Arsenio snatch victory, or is Vorkel going to hang on? It looks to me that Zdeněk Vorkel has withstood the pressure from the man who has won in this category in the past, in previous seasons, and he's going to hold him off to the checker flag, to the line. Zdeněk Vorkel from pole position is going to open his championship account with 40 championship points. Zdeněk Vorkel wins at Monza in Taco Tuesday in the Tier 1 category, the Pro category. Mauro Arsenio less than 4 tenths behind, with Mauro Bergantin on the podium on his debut in the Pro category. Very well done to him. Robbo Wernke will be 4th, with Critico in a fine 5th, running off a McLaren 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Jeffrey Godefroy should hold off Craig Lott. I think MGK made a mistake on the last lap, so Godefroy got back through ahead of MGK, And Craig Law is going to snatch 7th place from MGK on the line. And he has done. So Craig Law finishes in front of Melvin Krause by 8 thousandths of a second. Unbelievable. Damien van der Waal will be 9th. Nico Busov in 10th place. And we've got Ben Milden, who's had a quiet race this evening, it has to be said. We haven't spoken much about him. Will Freeman 12th, with Farglove Abyssal in 13th. Should be holding off Flying Throne to the flag. And then we've got Morgan Grace, a blow par performance for him in 15th place. Adrian will be 16th, ahead of Ben Berryman, Petra Postel, Brandon Glover, Luke Prentice in 20th position. Then Adam Sesplat down the lap in 21st place. Will Rayner finishes in 22nd place. Stuart Hodgson a couple of laps down. Josh Clayton, Sean Cole, Kobe Alerts. I think we lost a driver actually in that. So we'll get the updated classification in a moment. But there is your race winner, Zdeněk Vogel in the number 9 McLaren in Taco Tuesday at the Temple of Speed at Monza. Mauro Senio congratulating him. And good to see him putting him under pressure, making it more of a race to the flag. The fans will have enjoyed it as well. So, there is your race results. Vogel wins with Arsenio in 2nd place. Begantin on the podium on debut. Well done to him. Robbo Vernker 4th. Critico 5th. We've got Godefroy, Law, Krones, Van der Waal and Busov running out the top 10. Ben Milden in P11 ahead of Will Freeman. Farglove Abyssal in a fine 13th position from the back. Flying Throne 14th for the Morgan Grace. That's Adrian in 16th position. Ben Berryman in 17th. Pedro Postel 18th. Luke Prentice, Brandon Glover, Adam Sesplat, Will Rayner and Stuart Hodgson were the rest of the finishers. Josh Clayton, Sean Cole and Kobe Alerts did not finish. No points for any of those three. One race done. Vogel and Arsenio are tied on points, but given the fact that Arsenio is a reserve driver, I'm not sure his points will count towards the championship. It may do later on in the season, but Vogel is the championship leader after one round. The next race will be at Imola. It will be a 90-minute special with 2 mandatory pit stops included, so it will be a longer race than what we had this evening. I'm going to wrap it up there. Thank you very much for watching us. Do make sure you follow us on Twitch if you're watching us live, and make sure you subscribe on YouTube if you're watching on Catch Up. I'm Tom Cairns, and I'll speak to you again soon when the Formula Racing League returns.